Hi everyone, Bernard here on behalf of MovieGameNostalgia.com. Hope you're all very well, and thanks for joining me for this little movie review today. A little movie review, and it's called a film called Ride Like a Girl. Please, if you're new to this channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notification. Please tell your friends if you enjoy this little movie review. I do movie reviews, TV drama reviews, information vlogs on new DVD, Blu-ray releases, and information vlogs on what's coming to the cinema as well, which is fingers crossed as I'm recording this very soon. Right, Ride Like a Girl. It's a PG rating, a family film, an hour and 38 minutes long. So take out the credits. You're talking about an hour and 30 minutes, aren't we, for this one? It stars Teresa Palmer, Sam Neill, and Sullivan Stapleton, and it's an Australian biographical sports drama directed by Rachel Griffiths. It's her first feature debut. She does an okay job. And it's the story of Michelle Payne. Obviously, if you're outside of Australia and obviously not really into horse racing, etc., the name may not be familiar. It's certainly not, even though I'm a keen fan of horse racing in small doses. I'm not mad on it, but I do enjoy it from time to time, like the odd flutter. I did not know the story of Michelle Payne. Because it's to do with the Melbourne Cup, which is an Australian thing, which I never, even though I've seen obviously every year it's on, it's not something that really interested me, to be absolutely fair to you. And this is the story of Michelle Payne, who's the youngest of 10 children of racehorse trainer Paddy Payne. Almost all of Paddy's children grow up to become jockeys, and this is the story of the youngest daughter and her dreams of winning the Melbourne Cup. Any good? Well, yeah, I mean, Rotten Tomatoes got a 66% rating, which means 23 fresh ratings and 15 rotten, so not fantastic. Overall, a 6.56 average out of 10, which is healthy. That's a healthy score. The audience seems to like it a little bit more than the critics. The audience rating is 79%, obviously, which is a good rating. The consensus on Rotten Tomatoes reads, far from the subtlest inspirational drama, but its fact-based story and charming cast are just enough to guide it down the stretch. See what they did there? They always try and be a bit clever with their little quotes, don't they? Metascore, this is the surprising score of the whole lot, to be honest with you. This is the critics rating, the Metacritic rating. Just 4.7 out of 10, which did surprise me. I mean, more on that in a moment, but it scores... there's only about 6 or 7 reviews from the critics, and it scores anywhere as low as 4 out of 10, and the highest is only 6 out of 10. And just to give you a feel of it, a couple of reviews here. The Hollywood Reporter's John DeFore, who I quote a lot, he only gave it 5 out of 10 and went on to say, actor Rachel Griffiths gives the pick a workmanlike, generic feel that will play well on family-centric cable channels. Horse lovers will be the moviegoers most vulnerable to its modest charms. So, not exactly a negative review, not exactly the most positive, is it? Let's say for 5 out of 10. The Guardian's Peter Bradshaw, obviously one of the critics who did like it, gave it a 6 out of 10. It's a bit hammy and TV movie-ish, but you can't help smiling at its feel-good directness and warmth. Again, the audience a little bit more kinder again. I mean, obviously critics have had a bit of a downer on this one, haven't they, looking at those scores. But the Internet Movie Database user rating, that's you and me, the people who left scores, over 2,263 as I'm recording this, so a lot of scores left. And it averages 7 out of 10, which is a very healthy score on Internet Movie Database. Anything 7 and plus is usually a good movie. There's a lot of positives. I did find one sort of real big negative review, which I hotly dispute when I'll talk about that in a moment. I'll just quote from the review. It's from Hogry Derville. I think that's how you pronounce it. There's a reason long shots don't usually come in. Well, obviously, watch the film and see what happens. I wanted to like this film, he goes on to say. I really did. I love horse racing and the story has a lot of merit to it. I mean, I'm doubting whether he loves horse racing when I read through this review. The production of this film failed miserably. Made for TV, Hallmark's channel goes to the races. It seemed that the director just wanted to get through the film as fast as possible. Seabiscuit, it ain't. This film is best suited for children who like horses. Enough said, back to the barn. So why did he say back to the barn? That's not a very horse racing thing to say, is it? Surely it should be back to the stable. But there you go. But there are a lot of positive reviews. I'll just give you a standard one. This is sort of a similar theme. Standard plot well told, says Zena Pism. 7 out of 10 she rated it, and she goes on to say it's a surefire feel-good result for a story featuring sporting triumph over adversity. Movies have exploited this genre regularly throughout the cinema history. In a horse racing context, I felt that National Velvet and Champions raised issues echoed in this production, which lacks suspense and tension as a result. What makes it special is the excellent acting from always dependable Sam Neill, Teresa Palmer, very believable as a determined, single-minded and pugnacious Michelle, and Stevie Payne producing a truly delightful performance as himself. Yeah, he plays himself in the film. Skillfully scripted and providing a cocktail of humour and pathos in right quantities. The overall experience added up to a very enjoyable hour and a half. Yeah, so yeah, I sort of quoted that because that's more on the lines I'm thinking. So you're gonna, say I think the critics have been a little bit unfair. I mean, I do love these sort of movies. I must admit, I'm a big fan of these sporty, feel-good things. I like that buzz. I like to feel really nice at the end of a film. I like that, the goosebumps, that sort of feeling. So I do love these sort of movies. So I want them, it'd have to be really poor not to impress me and make me smile and lift my spirits. Thankfully, this sort of did make me smile and lift my spirits, so it did live up to the expectation. I think the critics have been a little bit too critical. Obviously there are budget limitations to this movie, and that's what we're seeing. We're not seeing a big budget production here, which probably, it would have been nice to see perhaps with this story, because it is a tremendous story. I see more obviously involved, and it does have that, I think it's been mentioned in the critique there, it's a sort of straight to TV feel to it. It does have that feel to it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't tackle the darker issues, and it isn't gritty and sort of show a bit of behind the scenes of what's going on, a bit gets you a little bit more atmospheric, even though it does have that made for TV feel. Perhaps a story like this, as I said, deserved a little bit of a bigger budget, but I mean, you can't take anything away from that. The acting was really, really good, especially Teresa Palmer is superb, and obviously we're quite capable of knowing what Sam Neill is capable of, aren't we, in his productions? So yeah, I mean, but Teresa Palmer sort of holds it all together, really. But it appeals to non-horsey types. Yeah, it's a lovely family-friendly film. I mean, it is the sort of film that, I mean, most kids are like, most certainly I'm no detriment to girls, but most girls like horses and a lot of lads like horses. So yeah, it's a great film to watch with the family in an afternoon. As I say, as I feel of it, it only suffers because of lack of budget, but I think what they've done with it and what the director did, I don't think there's any criticism. I mean, that criticism before from the user, to quote it, said, it seemed that the director just wanted to get through the film as fast as possible. Seabiscuit it ain't. Well, no, it's not Seabiscuit, but it's not far behind on an enjoyment scale, on an enjoying the thing. And as far as getting through the film, there's a lot to pack in it. It's not a mini-series, it's just an hour and a half film. So you'd sort of, the little bits at the start where they're showing obviously the young lady as a child, I mean, that's very important, because you get to know obviously the sort of child she is, and that, so you couldn't skip through this. You had to show that, you couldn't not show it, because that's part of the character. So yeah, I mean, it probably could have lent itself to another 15-20 minutes, but I think in the basis of how it's done, I think they've done a really good job. Seabiscuit is excellent, by the way, but as I said, I don't think this is much far behind it. This is one of those films that makes you want to find out more about the story as well. As I say, I knew nothing about this whatsoever, even though I am a little bit into horse racing at times. But again, it's a mood thing. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. So it's always a good thing to want to know a little bit more, isn't it? And that's what I'll do. I'll probably find out a little bit more now about the wonderful person and the jockey in this. So my little rating, my little movie game nostalgia rating. Well, I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to give one of my highest ratings of the year. I did one about a week ago on a film that I thought I'd be struggling to beat, actually. But I'm going to give this 8 out of 10, which is it's not more or less a 10 out of 10 for me if you watch my little review. So my little movie game nostalgia rating for this superb film, Ride Like a Girl, is 8 out of 10. The poster, yeah, I'm not impressed with the poster. I think the poster's rubbish. Poster's just telling you. I could have done with a bit of action on there. I think the poster's a bit naff, isn't it? I'm just going to give the poster 5 out of 10. But all that matters is the movie was very good, very entertaining. I really liked the movie. The movie's out to buy actually on the 10th of August as I'm recording this, so it should be available now if you're watching this after the 10th of August, and in the UK it's $7.99 just on DVD, no Blu-ray, so please check your territory if it's outside of the UK. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that, Ride Like a Girl. Anyway, please check my links on screen, and please, if you can get a chance to look on movieGameNostalgia.com, my little website for old rare DVDs, movie posters from the 90s and 2000s. I think I do have Seabiscuit as well somewhere on there. I used to have it. I'm not 100% sure, but have a look. See if Seabiscuit's on there. I'm not too sure offhand. I've had thousands of posters, and some I've now sold out of, but Seabiscuit still could be there if you fancy Seabiscuit poster. And board games as well on movieGameNostalgia.com. Thumbs up to you. You can even if you just have a look round, it helps my analytics and getting me up these search engines and all this sort of thing. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Hopefully you'll join me again for another little review or an information vlog in the very near future. Whatever you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Until we meet again, please stay safe, everybody. Bye-bye.